What's up, you guys? It's Rob here. Today we'll be talking about ticker symbol NIO. They do have their earnings tomorrow, April 29th, 2021. They will be reporting their Q2 earnings. And right now there's no news on what's expected or if they're expected to beat, maybe miss, or anything like that. But really, there was the one positive news catalyst today that was pretty much confirmed and set in stone that NIO is to announce Norway expansion planned on May 6th and what we need to know about that. Awesome news that NIO is planning to announce that they are expanding into Europe within Norway, and this is really going to help the stock help the stock and really help NIO start growing more. Instead of just being a EV company within China, now they will be an EV company outside of China and have a reach into Europe. And Norway is one of the largest EV vehicles per person country in the whole entire United States. So keep that in mind. It's really good for the stock and it's definitely going to be really bullish. But really, before we hop into charts and everything like that, if you guys can, do me a favor, drop a like down on this video, hit that subscribe button, make sure that you ring that bell. Really helps me out with the YouTube algorithm and helps these videos get a further reach on YouTube. But let's go ahead, hop in the Webull here and cover the chart for the intraday. So basically for the intraday, we finished down 0.05%. So it really wasn't a bad day. We pretty much consolidated for most of the day. What was really nice was we did fall a lot during our pre-market, and we had a nice rip here in the morning that pretty much made that up and a little bit more. But really the huge thing to highlight is we basically, when we closed today, we basically closed where we pretty much closed yesterday, which is actually pretty good for the stock. So you got to keep that in mind. We basically traded flat for the past 2 days, essentially, kind of thing. So the fact that we got this consolidation in here, which is really good, and the huge thing that I really like about this is we pretty much consolidated for the whole entire day. And the reason why I say this is consolidation is because we didn't touch overbought on the RSI or oversold on the RSI, which is actually really good. And the fact that we did this is really good because it helps deflate IV, helps reset the indicators, and you can really see the volatile move that we had this morning, followed by the dip that we had, followed by this dip, and then we just consolidated, and all of our moves were very smooth for the pretty much the rest of the day, which is really good for the stock. Helped deflate IV, helped make those options contracts a little bit more attractive to those people who were thinking about buying them in the earnings. Keep in mind, when you do buy a options contract before earnings, it does have that implied volatility priced in along with that expected move. So the options contract is going to be a little bit inflated compared to if you were to buy the options contract 2 or 3 months out from earnings. So it's going to have a higher IV. It's going to be more expensive because of that higher IV and Vega being baked into that contract. But overall for the day, we hit our intraday low of 40.44 and then our intraday high of 41.95. What was really nice was we have this level of support here essentially at 41.35. And we really touched this several times today and broke through it and regained it and touched it and broke through it and regained it. But it's really good that we tested this so much because it makes it a stronger support. Right now it's acting as a resistance. So tomorrow morning, hopefully we make a nice break out of the gate and take a nice rip up, regain 41.35, and then close the day above 41.35. Really with earnings tomorrow, if we start hearing earning expectations or earning rumors and all that kind of stuff, you can really expect the stock to start moving. Now, keep in mind, in the after hours tomorrow, we will have our earnings reported. I think it's going to be reporting really late, actually. So we'll probably see a very late spike in NIO, if not maybe in the pre-market Friday morning. So just keep that in mind. But let's go ahead and hop out here to the 5-day time frame and really just cover this. So you can see the absolute rip that we were on. And we had our fall day yesterday where we gave up a couple percent. And then we pretty much traded flat today, which is actually really good. The huge thing is with this, we didn't pull back more. We basically traded flat the whole entire day, which is good. We had another negative day today. I would have been a little bit more worried about the stock than what I am now. But the fact that we traded flat the day before earnings I'll take that because that just shows that there's an indecision going in the earnings, and a lot of people aren't sure of which way the stock is going to go and how earnings is going to go for NIO. I mean, Tesla did miss. Tesla technically did beat on earnings, but Wall Street, the way that they spun it, they didn't like it, and Tesla has essentially tanked and was sitting pretty close to around $700 today at some point. And hopefully NIO beats expectations. It's good. They're going to have a little bit of a difficulty because they did have the semiconductor shortage and they did have to shut down their factory for essentially 5 days. So that really halted the progress, and I feel like they're going to highlight that. But if we get a negative earnings report, but we get this positive news catalyst of them expanding in Norway, hopefully it offsets and we really don't see much of a price change within earnings. So just keep that in mind. But overall for the day, the RSI for the 5-day, 5-minute is sitting here at 54. We do have a bullish MACD here in the after hours. We closed the day technically on a bearish MACD, but we did have that crossover in the after hours, so keep that in mind. But let's go ahead and hop out here to the 1 month time frame, because this will really just help us understand where NIO has been. And the huge thing is we were trading for the longest time. We had a low of $34.22. This was like essentially our low support line. We had a low of 34.06 here on the 16th. So 12 days later, we're trading up above $40. Great movement within the stock. Also, keep in mind, yesterday we did have that announcement that the Deutsche Bank analyst did lower the price target of NIO from $70 to $60. So keep that in mind too. It definitely did cause some of our downward movement yesterday. But the huge thing I want to really highlight here is we have the MACD sitting here at 49. We have not the MACD sitting here at 49. We have the RSI sitting here at 49. Pardon me. We have the MACD down below the equilibrium. We actually have a bullish crossover today. We were in bearish territory on the 1 month, 1 hour chart. Now we're in bullish territory because of today's movement. Awesome sign for the stock. Also, the huge thing that I'm going to be looking at tomorrow and I'll name my targets here and right now is 41.35. What are we going to do with 41.35? Are we going to be able to claim it as support? We can claim it as support. The next thing I'm going to be looking at is 41.69, which is our 60-day moving average on the 1 month, 1 hour time frame. We are already trading above the moving average 120 and the moving average 20. So once we get above the moving average 60, that would be considered a very bullish sign for the stock on more of a micro perspective. Our RSI is sitting here at 49. So if we do get positive news with this news catalyst, hopefully we do see an upwards movement going in earnings. That would be really awesome for NIO. So really expecting that. But let's go ahead and hop out here to the day time frame and really just take a look at the stock overall. So the day time frame really helps me look at my targets and see what we're doing and where we're going and where we currently sit. Because really the day time frame is the best thing to look at for a long-term investor. Some people prefer looking at the week time frame, where you can take a look at the month time frame. But I really like the day time frame because you can put patterns together of pretty much how a stock trades. So the RSI is sitting here at 53. We still have a bullish MACD on the day time frame for the year. So that is definitely a very good sign. Our volume today was only 57 million. Yesterday's volume was 69. So we did have a little bit lower volume today. I mean, I kind of expect that because we essentially consolidated today going in the earnings, which is not a bad thing for this stock. So keep that in mind. It's not the end of the world. The huge thing that I want to highlight here is we're still respecting this trend line from the low that we had. So I'm going to draw this back out for us. The huge thing with my trend lines is I look for 3 touch points. So I got one here. I got another one here, and then I got one here. So we're still respecting our trend lines, which is good. Huge thing on the daytime frame, we are above the moving average 20, but the moving average 60 and the moving average 120, we're not quite there. So on the macro scale, for the daytime frame, we got to get ourselves over 41.35. And then the next move, I highly doubt we will make it to 44.74 unless if we have a crazy earnings and we beat earnings and it goes through the moon. Hopefully we do, and I would really love to see that because if we can get over this moving average 60, it would be really great. We have not been above the moving average 60 since February, so keep that in mind. It's been a while since we've been at that point. We also haven't been over our 120-day moving average since the beginning of March, so keep that in mind too. So if we can really get above the moving average 60, it definitely will put us in bullish territory. And then we have our resistance sitting at 46.61 too. So moves for tomorrow to the bullish upside, it's gonna be, can we reclaim 41.35? And then can we try to test 44.74? If we can, awesome. Can we test it, get rejected, and then maybe claim it in earnings because we had a positive earnings? That would be great for the stock. But to the downside, if we miss earnings and things don't go well for NIO, I'm going to be very quickly looking at $40, and then I'm going to be looking at $37 as pretty much that floor. So hopefully we don't fall further than $37, because if we fall further than $37, I feel like we'll see 34 really quick. But I don't expect NIO to have that much of a swing. I could see maybe $3 or $4 maybe in the swing of NIO from its earnings, but I really can't see us moving all the way down to $34. That would be a very drastic move and essentially cutting almost a fourth of the price out. So just keep that in mind. But the huge thing is bullish upside tomorrow would be testing 41.35, claiming it as support, and then testing our moving average 60 here on the day time frame. If we continue to respect this trend line too, I'm perfectly fine with that, because as long as we continue to respect it, we are still riding this ascending level of support. So we're eventually going to get to the point where we're going to have a descending level of resistance and we're going to have to make a move, but right now we're not at that point. So hopefully we can continue this ascending level of support. We did have a red day. We do have room to move to the downside. So if we do have another red day tomorrow, it won't be necessarily bad. Our red day just can't be greater than, let's just say, $40. So around $40. So if we break below $40 tomorrow, this trend line's broken and we'll be starting a new trend at that point. And it would be more of a bearish trend. It would be more of a bullish trend to the downside. So we'd be creating a bull flag, versus right now we're kind of creating a bear flag because we're moving in an upwards direction and we're waiting for the stock to break down versus break up. So just keep that in mind for NIO tomorrow. Hopefully our earnings go well. But I mean, overall, we got to celebrate this great news because this is really great. And this is huge for NIO because they're going to be expanding out. So that's all I got for you guys today. If you have any questions or anything like that, please drop it down in the comment section below. Also, I do have my Webull referral link down in the description of this video. You do get 2 free stocks when you join Webull, valued anywhere between $8 and $1,600. And then I do get a free stock as well. You get your 2 free stocks, one when your account's approved, and then second when you deposit $100 on the platform. So it's free stock immediately. You pretty much get $8 on your return at an absolute minimum. 8% return, I can't really reject it in my personal opinion, but I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.